Breaking news tonight, 3-year-old Casey Hathaway has been found alive. He is in good condition. He's talking to authorities and being treated. The toddler was reported missing on Tuesday afternoon.
It's been a long couple of days since then. People have been praying, gathering, searching. So many of you coming together, and it's great news to hear tonight. Casey is getting medical treatment, we believe, at Carolina East Medical Center in New Bern. Shelley Lynch with the FBI says professional search and rescue crews found Casey tonight off Toller and Aurora Roads. That's in the Ernle community of Craven County. She says Casey is in good health and he's talking. News Channel 12's Brian North is live tonight at Carolina East, where we hope to hear word soon from some of our public officials. Brian.
Yeah, in fact, they're coming out right now. You'll see a crew coming. We're going to hear from Chip Hughes, the Craven County Sheriff, and Shane Stein from Chocowinity EMS, who helped find him. That is Shelley Lynch, who's leading the way from the FBI, and they're going to step up to the mic, and we're going to hear from them. So here we go.
Get in place. Well, it's a great evening, folks. We brought Casey to his family just like we said we were going to do. We did not give up. We were very persistent. Little fella is happy, and his parents are very happy as well. When he saw his little sister, had a big smile on his face, and I can tell you it's just very, very touching. I want to thank all of the volunteers that came out. I cannot thank them enough. Craven County stepped up. They did. And all did the surrounding counties as well. All of these agencies that stand here with me, and a lot of them are not here, just the resources that they brought in. We were diligent working around the clock. I don't even want to begin to name all the agencies because I don't want to leave somebody out. But I just want to thank everybody for the job they've done. And I do want to recognize the chief here. This gentleman here is the one that put his hands on the little fellow when he heard him. I'm going to ask him just to say a few words about what he saw. Hold on a second. Here's one. Hold on. Then this is the mother and the father.
We just want to tell everybody that we're very thankful that you took the time out to come search for Casey and prayed for him. And he's good. He is good. He's up and talking. He's already asked to watch Netflix, so he's good. He is good.
Thank everybody for coming out, all the prayers. It means a lot. Yeah, just
thank him.
Yeah.
Thank him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, buddy. So I do want the captain just to say a little bit, but how we came about finding. It was once again folks giving us tips and leads, and the rescue teams and everybody that was out there jumping right on it and following every lead. And I'll tell you, we had a lot of them come in, and we hit every one of them immediately and diligently, and it paid off. And I could not be happier by the way this turned out. I know we're all ready for some rest, but I want this gentleman right here to say a few words.
We, like the sheriff said, we responded on a tip and located by voice this young man and went to him, disentangled him from some briars that he was hung up in, brought him out, and here we are. So thank everybody that did assist. Thanks for all the community support and everybody that helped us.
So real quick, we'll take a few questions. Of course, we'll be available the rest of the week, but anything. Brian, what you got, buddy?
Any indication he'd been out there the whole time? You'd searched that area, it seems like. It had been around. Had he been there the whole time, or was this something that, another thing that we have a question to answer here?
Yeah, I don't believe he was there the whole time. I believe he did some moving around. That was an area that we were getting to. We initially went into the search where he was last seen, and that's where we started working it out methodically. So this was definitely an area. We got a call, a tip. Our deputies and the captain went straight to the location. As soon as the captain stepped out, he heard Casey asking for his mother. And he was about 40 or 50 yards into the woods. I had to go through a lot of water to get to him. and then Casey was in there in some vines and thorn bushes. So.
Did he indicate how he got in there himself?
No, sir. He hasn't said a whole lot except when his little sister came in there, he really brightened up then.
How far from the original location?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
What was his condition?
I believe he was. You want to speak to his condition?
He was cold, but he was verbal in command to us. So the more we warmed him up, the more active he became. And you know, I think for the conditions, I think he fared very well. You know, we're very fortunate for where we are.
We got a lot of rain yesterday. Was he wet?
He was. I think everything in there is wet right now. Everything's wet. So.
And I'll tell you, like I've said in the previous, you know, this terrain was just, it presented so many tough challenges for us, you know, and a lot of it had to do by foot. We did have a lot of aircraft come in, you know, and I do want to acknowledge, you know, the FBI. These folks have been awesome. They came in here and they just brought so many resources to help us here in Craven County find Casey, as well as the SBI, the State Highway Patrol, you know, about another 20 to 25 sheriff's offices, local police departments, our volunteer rescues, and of course the citizens of Craven that came in just by the hundreds to cover this huge tract of property that we were working on.
How far away from where he was reported missing did you find him?
What's it, maybe less than a quarter of a mile, maybe? Quarter and a half, yeah. Yeah, a little over a quarter of a mile, something like
You
that.
guys obviously still have some questions. Can you tell us what is the process going forward in terms of any further investigation?
Well, as we're treating it from the beginning as a missing child. You know, the child has been found. Casey's been found and brought home. So, like I said, the family was very cooperative. That was key, as were all the neighbors. So, Jamie, you have anything? Good to go?
Any indication there was any kind of abduction or that he was taken and then returned, or do we think this was...
No, absolutely not. At no time did we see any indications of an abduction. And, you know, just to take that a little further, that's why an Amber Alert was not put out. There were no signs of abduction. Believe me, had there been the slightest, we would have done that.
Was he still in the same clothing as what was reported for people to look at? And any cuts or bruises? You said you found him in a thorn patch.
He was it's still in his coat. It was zipped up, and he's cut up a little bit, scraped, stuff like that. But in very good spirits, very happy, and like I said, you know, what was really special is when he saw his little sister and smiled. So it was a very touching moment, very touching.
Is there a plan for him to be here overnight?
That I don't know. I know he's receiving medical treatment, but he was talking. So. Any other questions? Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shelly? Yes.
So there you go. There's what we have going on here from the hospital, Carolina East Medical Center. Answered a lot of questions. There'll be some more investigation going, but let's check out where Kate Hussey is. She's in the area where Casey Hathaway was found earlier this evening. Now that we have a lot more answers here, now let's go to where she is this evening to get some more information.
I just spoke with the Director of Emergency Services, Stanley Kite, and he did confirm some information about how Casey was found. He told me that Casey was found around 9 o'clock tonight. A neighbor heard the child crying in his backyard and immediately reported it to law enforcement. Now, once law enforcement did arrive on the scene, they found Casey in relatively good health. He did say that Casey was able to speak his name and identify himself. And he also told me that all of the people who were in attendance when the child was found were shocked, considering the freezing temperatures, the heavy rains, and all of the elements that this child was exposed to over the past 3 days that he was outside. Now, Stanley Kite did tell me that that's all he is able to release right now, but he also wanted to thank everyone who volunteered, everyone who worked so diligently to bring Casey home. Live in Arnold, Kate Hussey, News Channel 12.
Wow. I mean, it's just like we are so thankful that the searchers were still out there and that someone, a neighbor, heard little Casey cry, called in. Rescuers went right to him and got him. And we're so happy tonight. We heard tonight from the sheriff that He has a few scrapes. He was found in some vines and bushes, and so he has a few scrapes. He's doing okay. He's talking. He's alert. He perked up when he saw his little sister, and that's when he really got happy, and no signs of abduction. So that's why there was never an Amber Alert issued.
Well, and that is part of the miracle, Val, as you said, the exposure out there. It was in the teens, wasn't it, Donnie? The first night night, Tuesday night, late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, and the little boy, I don't know if he drank some water that may have been standing around or something, but you're talking about hypothermia now possible.
Yes.
Hadn't had any nutrition. He didn't have any real heavy winter protection on that we were told, although Chip said he had a coat that was zipped up, and I think he meant that was when he was found. But anyway, whatever happened, we're joyous about it tonight. Stay with us. We are still getting answers to lots and lots of questions, but Casey is in good condition at Carolina East Medical Center, and we are grateful for that.
Yes, and
let's get over to
hats
Donnie.
off to the rescuers. Donnie? Yes, Ariel, it was the best news of the night. 3-year-old Casey Hathaway found alive. He is safe. He's at the hospital getting treatment for a few scrapes. He's in good health. And Sheriff Chip Hughes says the little guy, the little fellow is happy. That was the best news we could have heard tonight. The family wanted to thank the community for prayers. Little Casey's mom says he's good, he's up, he's talking. He really brightened up when his little sister came in the room. It made him so happy, and he got more talkative. The sheriff says no signs of abduction. No Amber Alert was issued. That's the reason why. So they believe he survived in the woods all that time. So a miracle
and
indeed.
that against all odds, Val, because of the exposure. We don't know if he had any shelter, food, water. The temperature was down in the teens for several hours, freezing. You know, it's possible the little guy sneaked out there and got away with it. And let me just say this. Eastern North Carolina has been through some really bad hits. I can think of 3 of them really bad the last 3 years here. And we needed this tonight. We all needed this.
Yes, we did.
You showed up, you volunteers, you people in your living rooms, people in our churches, and people who always show up, whatever the turnout is. And we have to believe that that was a force this time and a really good outcome for this little boy and his family and all of us in Eastern North
Yes,
Carolina.
found right
Thank
there
you.
in Ernle in the same area. So wonderful, wonderful news tonight. Donnie, and I do want to say hats off to the neighbor who heard this little guy crying and alerted authorities. They went right to him. And also Captain Shane Greer with Chocowinity EMS. He's the chief there. He's the one who found Casey.
Rest well tonight, folks. There's our little hero.
Yes, he is.
He's doing well. Good night.